there is some real telling news about what some people feel about Jalen Hurts as the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Some within the organization are not feeling too happy with him right now. We have an injury concern with Lane Johnson. A lot to speak on regarding this fully formed championship defense and a lot more. So let's get straight into it all.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is doing well. So a lot to talk about here. The Eagles are 8-2 sitting high, controlling their own destiny, first seed. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is Lane Johnson. Okay, Lane Johnson left the game with unfortunately suffered a Lynch Frank injury, okay? Thank God the Eagles made the Fred Johnson trade, because then we would really be in trouble right now. But Lane Johnson could be out 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, is seeking a second opinion as of right now for this injury. Lane, do not seek a second opinion. Take the 4 to 6 weeks off. We need him fully healthy. Do not bring Lane Johnson on a snap count for pain tolerance. And then by the end of the year, by the time we hit the playoffs, okay, he won't even be able to play. At that point, he won't even be able to play on that injury anymore. I'm not saying we're going to be undefeated the rest of the year, but the smartest thing to do is just let Lane sit, okay? It's coming to a point now, the Eagles are going to have to find a replacement for Lane Johnson. That's just the truth within the next year. Lane Johnson, whether he plays another year or not for this team, we'll see what happens. Lane has more than enough time to sit out for as many weeks as he can before the playoffs come. He'll have a couple of weeks to probably come back to practice, get himself right, and then get into the playoffs, and he should be fine. So I think that will be the smart decision, but it is a big loss for the Eagles as for right now. Now, the offense has been so underwhelming. Now, they kind of get into some other news that came out last night. This was from the Seth Joyner show. D-Gunn had some things to say about Jalen Hurts and the situation. He says there's a lot of people in the Eagles organization that are frustrated with the QB situation. This is almost Carson Wentz part 2. Okay, this was on the post game last night. Part of this is Jalen Hurts knows that the Eagles are kind of stuck with him for a little while for the next few years because of his contract situation. Now, Seth Joyner recently went on, I think, WIP or some type of radio show and pretty much talked about where Hurts is making some of the really good throws in practice. And then when he gets into the end game, you know, his first read will be the out route. He doesn't stay patient enough to hit the slant where things do get open and just doesn't, you know, get the ball to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not going to lie about it. Jalen Hurts was inaccurate. I mean, the one time he actually called an audible, it was a walk-in touchdown to Saquon Barkley on that big pass, but overthrew him. Can't even put all this blame on Jalen Hurts. You have a playbook that is non-existent, and then you force-fed A.J. Brown the entire fucking day pretty much, and that made everyone else suffer this offense to a point where they put Darius Cooper in the tush push. He gets a penalty. We move back more yards. It's 3rd and 8, and then the Eagles throw a long pass downfield to Kylen Granson. Nobody else but Kylen Granson. Like, these are just the pure examples of, like, what are we doing here? I don't know if they recklessly tried to change the game plan the other night, but holy shit. This is the worst game. I thought Green Bay was the worst game. This was the worst game from the Nick Sirianni Hurts era to date. Maybe Hurts looks like shit because the more consistently you go into games with these game plans, it's going to fuck up your quarterback. It's going to fuck up everybody around the situation that's on the field playing in these games every single week. There was times I was seeing Jalen Hurts come off the field on 4th down. He looked defeated. He looked like he was just mentally exhausted and tired. And trust me, I mean, watching that offense all night last night, it was just to a point where I just didn't want to see it anymore. It was beyond tiresome watching that the other night. And I don't know what these coaches are going to have up their sleeve for the rest of the season, but they are lucky they got this championship defense fully formed, which we're going to talk about right now because Vic Fangio is the best coordinator since Jim Johnson. I'm going to say it right now. Holy shit. You gave the Detroit Lions a historically bad game within itself, going for it 5 times on 4th down, the Eagles making a stop. each and every time. Thank God they have an edge rusher. Jalen Phillips was the final piece to the puzzle. He was the final piece to this defense. Already 2 sacks in 2 games. He has over like 13, 14 pressures. I mean, goddamn Jalen Phillips. He keeps this up. There's no way they're going to let him walk in a free agency. I mean, there is no way you're going to let this man walk and get a comp pick for him. I'm sorry. I can't even say that. Jordan Davis making big tackles at the line. 3-4 deflections in the air, which is kind of crazy. Jalen Carter just mauling a guard right on his face down to the ground, getting in the backfield for other guys to make plays. That's what we needed from both of those guys. Moro Jomo is going to get big money in a couple years. We have him for 1 more year, but Moro Jomo is getting pressures, is calling out plays when he sees them, is a smart player. He's really taking over that Milton Williams role in the rotation. He's really taking that over, and I think he's doing a really good job there. So good for Moro Jomo. JALYX Hunt, I mean, wow. He was in Goff's face all day. Okay, the other night, he made Goff go through a nightmare. So 6 pressures leading the team, 5 QB hits leading the team, 1 hurry, 16.7% win rate leading the team. He was relentless. The deeper rotation, getting a veteran onto this team now, a good edge rusher, and he is thriving. I thought DeZean had a really good game. Quinyon Mitchell gave up 0 yards, targeted 4 times, I think 2 deflections in this game. There was one series, I remember, the Lions, I think, aimed for him like 3 times. And Q had great coverage at all 3 reps. You can't get by Q. He is CB1. We know he's just the best at what he does. Just a great game by him. And honestly, guys, I know that everyone is just afraid to come out of their shell and give respect where respect is due, but Adoree Jackson had a solid game. He did. Those 2 big plays he had, the one on the sideline, the one on the back of the end zone against Brown, I thought he had an amazing day. Sure, he gave up 1 to Jameson Williams. He's not going to be perfect, guys. I know this. Is the defensive line messing up the timing and helping these corners? Yes, that's what we want to happen. We don't want to rely on no pressure early in the season, putting all the pressure on these quarterbacks. Adoree Jackson just needed some confidence. His confidence it's rising. And look, like, he's a rental for this year. I'm not saying he's going to be here for another year or anything like that. This has nothing to do with next year. This is just this year. And, you know, Vic makes the decision to keep Adoree at CB too. And it is what it is. We don't like the decision. I get that. But now we're starting to see why he's keeping him there. And he's just getting more positive every single week. All I can say is good for him. I'm rooting for the guy at 29 years old in this defense and, you know, doing a really good job. It was nice to see Adoree make stops and actually have some swagger in his movement after the play and a little bit of celebration. It was nice to fucking see that the other night. How about Nakobe Dean? Nakobe Dean, Jesus. I mean, he has changed this defense, especially from run support and pressure, playing downhill. Look what he did to Josh Jacobs on the chip last week. Look what he did to Jared Goff, making him lose the ball, hit him so damn hard, fell to the ground, lost the ball. 3 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. In coverage versus Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 targets, 0 catches. First stride with Gibbs. Versus Jameson Williams, 2 targets, 1 catch for 27 yards. A monster game for Nakobe Dean. The linebacker position is thriving right now. I thought Bond played well. I thought Reed Blankenship came down with a big hit earlier in the game. I thought they played well. Makuba didn't give up any big plays. He actually played a lot better in this game. I'm being very positive about this. We could talk about the offense and nitpick and talk about what's going wrong there. You have an opportunity this year where this is one of the best defenses I've ever seen. It really is. And it's just growing at this point. You only held the Lions to 9 fucking points in this game. The defense was held out to dry. The pressure was all on the defense since the first snap of the game. And surprisingly, they probably were tired. Probably in the 3rd quarter. I wouldn't be shocked, late second, something like that. But they lasted. They made the stops. And look, they gave up 1 touchdown to Jameson Williams. 1 touchdown. At some point during this game, later in the game, I was like, anything that the defense gives up, I can't even blame them. That fucking defense, those players, they deserve to take the fucking week off. They deserve a fucking raise for what they did, holding the jock strap to that fucking offense last night. We're loving one side to this game, and then the other side is the complete opposite. I mean, complete opposite. Looking like the worst offense that all the games I've watched the Browns, I've watched the worst fucking teams out there, and nobody looks that fucking bad. We know this. Gotta get ready for the Cowboys this week. It's Kelly Green week. This is a big week for the Eagles. End division game. Shut out the Cowboys if they can. I think we keep this thing rolling and keep everybody healthy and let everybody take a break, take a rest if some players are needed. I know Cam Jurgens was out as well earlier in the game. I don't know what's going on with him. Before those 2 tush pushes, he ended up coming out. So hopefully there's nothing wrong there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for our Eagles news every single day. We'll have live streams. We'll have a bunch of stuff coming this week. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow side. Peace out, guys.